VGK looks to avoid a second period meltdown as the Golden Knights meet Dallas, this time on home ice, and the second meeting between the two clubs in 4 days. Our preview comes your way next, right here on Locked On Golden Knights.
Your Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. Tony Cardasco, longtime Las Vegas radio announcer, period. And Chris Golick, VGK season ticket holder. We'll get this out right. And collectibles expert for the hockey news. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. You throw me off there with the depth perception. Again, make sure that you subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. We are brought to you today by FanDuel, the official partner of Super Bowl 59. So coming up ahead on today's show, our second segment, we'll talk about the goaltender market, and it has been set. Will Kelly McCrimmon pay Adin Hill? And will they keep Ilya Samsonov? And then later, our locks and predictions. So VGK invites fans, right, Chris, to come to a practice session on Monday. Then 2 hours later, with fans already in attendance, the Golden Knights on social media, they said that the practice session has been moved to an off-ice workout. So to me, and the way that we always read into this team, there had to be players that weren't present there today. This is just my guess. And sometimes we're right, sometimes we're wrong. But my guess, the first thought that came to mind was that VGK is a dinged-up team. Some players unable to practice on the ice on Monday after they come off of that physical game against Florida on Sunday. What are your thoughts?
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. I was wondering why I was searching for practice reports and, press conference and all that. I didn't see anything. I'm like, oh, I guess they had an extra day off or something like that. I didn't put two and two together. I haven't been paying much attention beyond that. But, listen, the schedule's been pretty condensed to a degree, I guess. They played Florida, what day is today? Monday to Tuesday. They played Florida on Sunday. I don't know. I'm surprised they weren't on the ice today. And like you said, maybe you're reading too much into it. Maybe you're not. I don't know. What's worse, not practicing or saying player XYZ is maintenance day to day? When someone takes a maintenance day now, that's the new concern. Like, okay, this is a maintenance day. Used to be a maintenance day. Someone needs a day off, fine, no big deal. But now if someone's going to miss practice, maybe you're onto something. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. I'd lean you more being right than wrong. Tomorrow pregame skate, probably not optional. So we'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. And again, the players that I think suffered some really big hits on the receiving end. Well, Barbashev, although he did have a big hit himself, Pietrangelo, who again backs out of the Four Nations, and perhaps he's wearing down, and a big hit by Kachuk on him and the left leg, and the way that buckled, and he was dinged. There's all sorts of Kolasar, all sorts of players that could be dinged up, hurt, maybe out of the lineup come Tuesday night. So that we will keep an eye on for sure. The game last Friday, won by Dallas on its home ice, 4-3. It was the game that Jake Ottinger made some miraculous saves late in that contest, including the one on Pavel Dorofeev, right there, point blank on the shot, and the glove save. VGK needs to avoid that miserable second period that they had in Dallas, where they were outscored 3-1.
High danger. This is going back to the Stars game. High danger chances, 4-10 against 16. Third period, like you said, Golden Knights had 7 high danger chances to the Stars 3. Second period was terrible for the Golden Knights. 2 high danger chances, 4-5 against. And you look at the type of goals that were scored. We broke those down on Sunday special show, right? Sunday special show.
The special show, yeah. Sunday Fun Day special show.
There was a theme, right? Hannafin is a passenger on the first goal. White Cloud, Haig don't box out. Adin Hill, terrible rebound control. And then there was one more where there was just a bunch of passengers just kind of standing around. So And these were fixed against the Florida Panthers. Let's be clear about this. This was fixed against the Florida Panthers for one game. And like I said, was the Florida Panthers victory fool's gold? Playing a team on a back-to-back, Golden Knights had the rest and everything, or is this going to be kind of back to the reality of the Golden Knights lately where it hasn't been as good? And I'm leaning towards the Golden Knights could bounce back, I think. I hope so. We'll talk about my prediction in the third segment, I guess.
Okay, the Golden Knights, they did play the previous night before they went to Dallas in St. Louis. So we'll cut them a little bit of slack. And
Fair.
like
Fair.
at 1:30 in the morning. And to me, the most impressive part of that game was the resilience of VGK and the fact that the Golden Knights caught a second wind for that third period and made a game of it and almost tied it up late. I thought that was the story there if you are a VGK fan.
The Golden Knights are good at desperate hockey. I think we highlighted that on Sunday's special show as well. A lot of good players on the Golden Knights. So when they get desperate, they're going to churn scoring chances. They're just too good for that not to happen. It's a Groundhog Day scenario. The Golden Knights are minus
It's
121.
coming up. It's coming up. Groundhog Day.
It is coming up. Wow. How about
the second? I think that's Sunday. Yeah.
Great
okay.
movie.
Sorry, man.
Bing. Golden Knights minus 121 locally, plus 101 for the Dallas Stars, which I think is pretty much where the line was when the Golden Knights were in Dallas. So what does that mean? It's going to be a close game likely. You got an over under a 6 out there. It could go a couple different ways. And is it going to be Aiden Hill going 3 straight starts? I kind of hope so. I think that'd be really good to roll Aiden out and let him get his game back in order. Give Samson off the game against Columbus and give Aiden 3 of the last 4 on the road and call it good.
The defensemen have got to play better. In back-to-back games, poor games by Hannafin again and Whitecloud. Whitecloud a -2 at Dallas, and then he came back with another clunker on Sunday. And so the defense has to play better. Who knows what's up with Petro? I don't know if he'll be in the lineup or not. Will he be effective if he is in there? We know that he wants to play. He'll always show up, usually, typically, whether he's hurting or not. But he's definitely starting to wear down.
It's January 27th. Everybody's hurting. Everybody's wearing down. No, Pietrangelo's got more miles than the average player, no doubt. And we know there's something with him, an ailment. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. But there's something going on.
What does that mean?
It means one of two things. It means he has a lingering issue that he's going to take 2 weeks off.
It doesn't sound serious. It doesn't.
No,
does not sound
serious. I mean,
yeah.
they're used to.
They didn't say injury. They said ailment.
The other side, he's got something that's ailing him, and he just doesn't want to go anymore. And I'd rather be that than him being injured. To be completely honest with you, you wonder. McNabb and Theodore, you're not splitting that pairing up. That pairing is dynamic, advanced stats, regular stats, whatever metric you can think of. McNabb and Theodore are doing very well right now. So do you split up Hannafin and Petro and put one with Haig, one with Whitecloud? I think that'd be interesting. I think it would create some really nice balance. The Golden Knights could always go to, Coach Cassidy could always go to that hero line down the stretch and stack Pietrangelo and Hannafin. But maybe you do split that pair up. And, just thinking out loud, Hannafin and Haig had some time together last year. Petro and Whitecloud, I mean, why not? Why not?
Did you see this? So the NHL had posted today, Shea Theodore, total of 5 points. This is the dynamic duo, most teammates, teammates, defensemen with most points, January the 20th through the 26th. Theodore with a goal, 4 assists, 5 points. Braden McNabb, a goal and 3 assists for 4 points. They combined for 9 points last week. So, yes, you're spot on about those two. And Braden McNabb has really stepped up his game as he's starting to join the rush. He had the goal there. Very effective week, as we mentioned. But that pairing, is looking very good. And it's going to be, if there are changes that occur, it's going to be Hannafin. And right now, like Whitecloud is in a funk. He's in a funk right now. So we've seen this before out of him. Each team had a W between last Friday and this upcoming game on Tuesday night. The Golden Knights 4-1 victory over Florida. Dallas posted a 2-0 shutout win in St. Louis.
Yeah, and Dallas is going to have some time off in Vegas, and I gotta think the Vegas flu days, like back in season 1 and season 2, are behind. So Dallas being in Vegas for a couple nights, I don't think is going to lead to a guilty game or anything like that. Maybe it does for someone. I don't know, but Pete DeBoer, maybe
Huh?
Pete DeBoer is probably having.
Johnston, no, he'll have a guilty game for sure, DeBoer, but Wyatt Johnston is 21 this time around, so
I
we could
thought
suspect maybe something. He's 21 now. He wasn't 21 last time he was here.
I'm
Remember,
pretty
you
sure it
sent him the
was
birthday card and all that, the
yeah.
balloons.
I'm pretty sure it was season number 1. McDavid's 21st birthday was
Oh,
either
boy.
right before or the day of, like a game in Vegas. So that was well played, NHL. Now, to be fair, in Canada, you only got to be 19 to partake in gambling and alcohol. So he'd probably been used to it anyway. But still, being 21 in Vegas and being McDavid, that'd be a fun place to be.
I wonder what happens. Cassidy switched up Stone and Holtz on Sunday, and I would think that Mark Stone would have a
okay. Anyway, go ahead.
what? He might have
you
a
said Holtz,
chip on
maybe
his shoulder.
I was bored of Holtz.
No, but Stone might have. Stone goes from the top line to line 4, and if I'm a veteran,
Stone's
I'm not
job
happy.
on the team is in peril right now. Stone's gonna have to work hard to prove himself to get back.
I
on
wouldn't
that
be.
top
No,
line.
I'm just saying I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be happy about that's a demotion.
I'm agreeing with you.
Oh,
Tony,
okay.
relax.
I didn't know.
I'm agreeing with you.
And
Stone will not
VGK
be on the 4th line coming in at tomorrow's game. We can start there, but listen, being an NHL coach, you got to wonder what it's like being on that bench. You got 17, 18, 20,000 fans around you, depending on the arena. And every decision you make could be a win or a loss. It takes, for lack of a better term, a set of cojones to swap Alex Holtz and Mark Stone. And oh, by the way, they won the hockey game. So you got to give Cassidy credit. Cassidy's referenced many times about being in the present, staying in the present, and not being afraid to make those moves. And good job, Cassidy. Great coach. Glad to have him. And we'll see how far he can guide us.
What would you take away from the Friday meeting between Dallas and the Golden Knights that will help VGK prevail on Tuesday night?
I still can't stand Jamie Benn. Oh, that's a personal take, I guess.
That's a personal take, yeah.
I mean, I think it's not as much like there. I don't remember like a lot of physicality. Didn't feel like a mean game or anything like that. So we can flush that out. Now you get tired of playing the same team at a couple days later. So at any point with the Stars, it could happen.
That was
There
such
could
a
be
good game.
blowover.
That was, like I said, I really enjoyed that game. That was fun.
Yeah, I mean, it was
end.
fun at the end. I was watching at the Silver Knights game. I had it on, and it was interesting. And I think the takeaway is button things up, box out and button up. That's it. It's not like the goalies were far away that game, and they played like crap in the second period, and they found a way to get back in it. So they scratched and clawed, and they have confidence knowing they can put 3 or 4 behind Jake Ottinger. That's not an easy task by any means.
Coming up next, with recent goalie contract extensions, what does it mean for the futures of the VGK goaltending tandem of Hill and Samsonov? We'll get to that when we return right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Super Bowl 59 is here. It's one game, 2 teams, endless possibilities. And there's no better way to make it even more exciting than to go to FanDuel and check out FanDuel Sportsbook. That's right, Dan. The current line here in Las Vegas has just been going back and forth all day. But I did see the Chiefs now minus 1.5. They were 2-point favorite. The total is up just a half a point now to 49 and a hook. And if you like the over on that game, you better get to it soon because I think it's just going to keep going up from here. Whether it is predicting the first touchdown, they have, of course, the odds on the coin toss. I'm always a tails guy, you can call the MVP. You can even bet on the coin toss, as we said, and FanDuel makes it so easy to get into the action. Live betting all game long. You can adjust your bets as the game unfolds and feel the thrill from kickoff to the final whistle. Live betting features that let you stay involved no matter what happens on the field, and the app is super easy to navigate. Plus, knowing that you could place just a $5 bet and potentially win $200 in bonus bets for the Super Bowl, well, that is the icing on the cake. Icing is good on the cake, but not in hockey. Not good in hockey. Download the app today. Head to FanDuel.com. Get started. Bet just $5. You can win. Again, if you win, you'll score $200 in bonus bets. That is FanDuel.com. Bet with FanDuel, official partner of Super Bowl 59. Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights from Las Vegas. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick. What's that? The head shake. What's that all about? Your microphone's off again. Is that it? The mic is off. Okay.
Icing is good on cake, but not in hockey. What was that? That was terrible.
That's an ad lib. It's just an ad lib.
Okay, work on that.
Never know. I'll work on
broadcasting school.
Yeah, I know the delivery wasn't quite there, but
it was. You had the confidence. You were in the present. You were in the now. You had the confidence.
I was in the present. Fridays are WTF. I'm sure that this will come up again on Friday, and Saturdays sometimes the Chris Times Chris Jr. show. So a couple of nice sized goalie extensions recently.
Okay.
So yesterday, as reported initially by Chris Golick, Logan Thompson, as you reported, 6 years times $5.85 million. And the Avalanche recently, 5 years, AAV of $5.25 million for Mackenzie Blackwood. Blackwood played just 4 games for the Avalanche, and they extended him. He came over from San Jose from the Sharks. But what do these contracts mean for the VGK goaltending tandem? Of course, a couple of free agents at the end of this season.
Starting with Samsonov, I think that's easier to talk about. Samsonov, I think, is here on a bridge. Samsonov is hoping the Golden Knights go on a run. He has a share in that and takes that elsewhere to get a $3 or $4 million or 3 or 4 year deal for $5 million AAV. I think that's what the goal is. I think there's a chance that Samsonov does stay with the Vegas Golden Knights. However, that only happens if Adin Hill is not with the Vegas Golden Knights. Logan Thompson's performance thus far in the season affects the entire goalie market, and the numbers for Logan were much lower. And then obviously they came together today, and good for Logan, good for the Caps to come to terms there. Do the Golden Knights, Adin Hill saw this deal. Kelly McCrimmon saw this deal. They say Adin Hill is better than Logan Thompson. Fine, that's their decision. They made their decision, and they made their goalie bed. Now they got to figure out what to do. Adin Hill doesn't want to get paid less than Logan Thompson.
For sure. That's good. They're competitive. Yeah.
Of course. And that's okay. That's okay.
And that's good. No, it's not.
I'm not knocking any of them. The Golden Knights think Adin Hill's the better goalie. You think Adin Hill's going to sign for $5.84 million AAV or less? And do you think he's worth $5.86 million AAV or more?
Right now,
knows the answer to both those questions, at least locally.
You say no. So let me ask you this, right? If Logan Thompson were still with the Golden Knights and he wasn't getting that many starts, but still being very strong in the net, VGK was going to lowball him and go 5 times 2.5 or 3. And I'm not joking here. I'm being serious because they've done this with every other player. State
and that's the general manager's job to try that.
State run television just going off in the game against the Florida Panthers, talking about Howden. He wanted to be nowhere else but here. So he gets lowballed like that in that manner, and that's good. Like, I didn't understand that one. They would have came back with a very soft offer because they just thought that they would keep both of those goalies. So good for Logan Thompson. Again, asking, hey, trade me because I know I am an everyday NHL goaltender.
Hang up the phone.
And he's proven it.
Right? Yeah, no, I mean, listen, the path to Logan to getting to where he is now, from undrafted to basically making an AHL roster to hanging out and to getting his chance to prove himself in the NHL. I mean, it's all a good story, and it's, I'm happy for him. Obviously, it's fun to see, and it's been fun, chatting with him about it and stuff like that. And it's it's good for him. Now he's got to live up to it, though. This is a new set of pressure for him, and now it's gonna, we've seen players buckle under this. We've seen players flourish in this,
being content, or be most of them are content that they made that contract and that
Yeah, we've
deal.
seen that
And then,
before. We've seen
yeah.
that locally with players we feel before. I'm sure you can answer William Karlsson joke here, but what does now? This has a local effect here, and that's what the focus is going to be. Is Aiden Hill the goalie that Golden Knight fans, and more importantly, McCrimmon and McPhee and Bill Foley, is Aiden Hill the goalie they want for 5 years at $6 million per? Because that's what the
It's going to
number is
have to
right
be
now.
6, right? He's going to have to ask for a
I
minimum
think
of
that's
6.
I think that's probably the starting point, and say it's a
Just
team
based
friendly
on the
deal. This is
market,
where I
right?
want to be.
Based on the market, but what teams would pay more for Aiden Hill right now?
I mean, so starting with Mackenzie Blackwood, let's go to that situation first. Everyone's kind of
Four
how did
games.
Mackenzie?
That's
Right,
pretty
but
crazy. He played 4 games and then they
he did.
extended
He's
him.
also Mackenzie Blackwood. Also, to his defense, is a 9.22 with the Avalanche now in 16 games already this season. 217 goals against, 9.22. So he's earning it. And with the Sharks, that porous defense, he was a 911 save percentage with a
Wow.
295 goals against. What does that tell you? And the season before, in 44 appearances, 899 save percentage and a 345 goals against.
You know what it tells me? It tells me that McCrimmon is scouting too much because they just looked at a 4-game sample size and then they extended him.
Yeah, listen, Colorado knew what they were doing, and yeah, I know where you're going with that because they scouted Barbashev 40 times or whatever it was. So, I mean, looking at other
Mantha was like 57 times, I think.
Yeah, that didn't work.
That was a bust.
So let's look at the $7 million goalies right now. Olmark, Swayman, or Olmark is 7.7, Swayman's 8.2. John Gibson, I feel like his contract is never.
He got hurt again. Did you see last week? He got hurt again.
Hurt. But
he's had a really good season. Save percentage.
Gibson's fine. Gibson's always a fine goalie. Always a fine goalie. Yeah. Jacob Markstrom, $6 million. Binnington. We're just talking AAV right now.
All right.
Jordan Binnington, $6 million. Grubauer, 5.9. Logan now comes in obviously at 5.8, 5.85. Shesterkin 5.66, although I think he turned down $11 million recently.
$11 million he turned down. Yeah.
Just like, no, I'm cool. There's Lincoln's 5.4, Blackwood 5.2, Darcy Kemper, Thatcher Demko. These are all $5 million goalies. And then going below the $5 million mark, like Peter Mrazek 4.2, Jake Ottinger $4 million.
That's good. That's a value there for Ottinger. What about Georgiev? My goodness, has he really stunk?
Six Orgiev?
Oof.
Not 4. He's not 4Giev anymore. He's 6 Gorgiev, right? Whatever.
Jeez.
He's 3.4 million and not worth a penny of that. So,
no.
I think Aiden Hill, first of all, I think the situation drags. I think they're not going to in any hurry to do a deal with him.
You're going to go against what we thought initially after 4 nations and after Canada is triumphant in the 4 nations because
the goalie market's changed. The goalie market's changed. It's gone up. And I think it's in Aiden Hill's best interest to wait.
You think he'll play hardball? You think Aiden Hill will play hardball?
I think Aiden Hill, and I'm sure there's been talks, and I'm sure
do if he goes and enters the free agent market, everyone would hate him. They'll hate him. Fans will start hating him.
Yeah, and then social, and they'll turn on him. The Golden Knights PR team will do their job and whatever.
Yeah.
So listen here,
that guy
go on just my perspectives on it here. I think Aiden Hill, his best interest is to wait right now, number one. Unless tomorrow they come out. We know the Golden Knights like to be upstage, so maybe the Golden Knights will extend Aiden at 6x6 tomorrow just to go against Logan.
And I would not put. Would you put that against them? No, not at all. I would definitely. I would.
Aiden Hill would sign that contract before McCrimmon was done presenting it to him. If it's 6x6,
I would put the odds more in that favor than anything else right now. That they're going to want to come back, and that's how they are.
And that's the thing. I think
call them the made
Hill,
men for a reason.
If they give him 6x6, he sign it all day. Aiden, good job. Take the money and run. Good for Aiden. I don't think he's earned that so far. And again, he won a Stanley Cup. Fine, yes, he won a Stanley Cup. He was really good for 4 weeks, and he's been pretty good outside of that with a lot of injury issues. Ultimately, where I'm going with this is if they sign now, I think Aiden Hill might be leaving money on the table unless the Golden Knights highball somebody. I don't think they're going to highball anybody. They've never highballed anyone in their lives when it comes to these in-season contracts, it feels like. So I think the Golden Knights will maybe try to pitch him now. I think Aiden Hill will say, okay, here's my number, and otherwise call me when you're ready to give me this number. And if Aiden Hill goes to the 4 Nations, does well, if he stays healthy all season, which knock on whatever you can think of, so far so good, and the Golden Knights do go on a run, all of a sudden Nathan Hill's going to say that you guys could have me for $6 million. Now it's going to be $7 million. Just
Oh
like the
man.
Caps maybe could have had Logan for, let's say, $4 million earlier in the year. Today's price is not tomorrow's price, guys. And a lot of people on social media don't understand what that means. And that's fine. I'll spell it out really slowly for you next time. I only have 80 characters to work with on Twitter because I'm cheap, but I'll type slower next time for everyone who doesn't understand what that means.
Oh, okay. So there was news about this unbelievable. We are just so excited. Cannot wait for the Four Nations face-off. But there was news. First, I saw it. Greg Wyshynski had it. As players pull out of Four Nations face-off, NHL Deputy Commissioner Bill Daly tells me that the league will not apply the same policy that it has for players that skip the All-Star game. Players who pull out of the All-Star game must miss one game immediately before or after the break, and that is not the same case for the Four Nations face-off. So a ton of defections late, a ton, because what are you doing? You're not penalizing them. You're not.
Well, they
gonna,
already made the team, so it's not like they're going to lose their spot for the Olympics.
Huh? Yeah, but they won't be missing a game because they want the fans to be involved. They want to get TV ratings out of this. But if all of a sudden your top players start backing out, they're going to have some issues there.
Well, and first of all, suspending someone because they don't want to play in the All-Star game because they want a weekend with their family or a weekend to heal an ailments, stuff like that, and suspending them for that is a dog poop policy. I mean, that's just stupid. And the All-Star game has been a borderline joke for the last decade anyway, so maybe make players want to go play it.
I saw
in Vegas, it was terrible. Like the experience in Vegas was god awful. We went to the skills competition.
Oh, that was
the coolest thing was the mascot game and watching the players warm up. After that, it was all downhill. It was choppy. The production was brutal. Doing that stupid crap on the fountain on Las Vegas Boulevard and just killed the vibe. And it's just dumb.
Yeah.
It's a little better now, but still.
They gave Pietrangelo the title in that one skills event, right?
Yeah. Trevor Zegras goes out there blindfolded, takes a dodgeball to the nuts, and he in a shootout challenge and can't win. But Pietrangelo goes out there and flubs an attempt because the Nightline is out there with him. Woohoo! Go Pietrangelo! Get out of here.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Coming up next are locks and predictions for the VGK versus Dallas game. We'll get to that as we return right here on this nighttime edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Welcome back on Locked On Golden Knights from Las Vegas. Tony Cardasco. I don't know what my tag was earlier. Veteran Las Vegas radio announcer.
Yeah, you got it nice and smooth too. Your
that was really
well.
Speaking of choppy, bro. Don't forget Fridays. We've got WTF. Saturdays, it's the Chris times Chris Jr. show. It is that time for our locks and predictions. Golden Knights against Dallas. I'm going to let you go first today. I've been hogging the microphone too much lately.
I got me and little Chris's predictions already. I'm going 4-3 Vegas overtime. I think we got a close game.
An OT
game. Okay. An OT victory. How about an Eichel breakaway goal because he had 1 million breakaways the other day. He's got good practice. Besides Eichel, hey, how about Hannafin?
Hannafin? Are you kidding me? Hannafin.
It was Hannafin or Holtz. Either way, I was going to take a punch.
You're going to just try to bust chops. Okay.
Little Chris says 3-2 Vegas, Stone and Theo.
Okay, so I have 3-2 Dallas, and I'm going to go with Wah, and I'm going to go with Stone because, again, I thought that was humiliation for him. A top liner going to the fourth line and to make Stone's matters worse.
Maybe Stone is the reason there was no practice today, Tony. Just throwing that out there.
It's someone. I'm telling you right now, just you and I kind of get these vibes around the team. And I'm telling you, I just feel like they did this to hide something. They hid something. I might be wrong, but that's just my gut feeling.
Drag us.
I'm going to go.
If we're wrong, drag us, please. I hope everyone's watching, and if
they'll
we're wrong,
watch to the very end. They'll watch to the end.
Yeah, drag us if we're wrong, or don't say a word if we're right. That's how it goes, and that's okay. That's fine. I understand. That's the platform we're on, and that's how social media works. But I will take victory laps when we are right, and I have no problem doing that. And if we're wrong, I will take the punch. I have no problem taking the punch either. Look at Tony's face. Look how much punch he's taking. Look at his nose.
It's 8 times. Times 8. Broken nose.
Broken nose 8 times. Seriously?
Yeah.
One time, or what did the other guy look like?
8 times in my lifetime. 8
Those are just
times.
one fight. Okay.
So I went and got it reset one time. I screamed and I wanted to punch the doctor in the nose.
They have to break
So
your nose
after
when they
that-
reset it, right? Like they're breaking it again, right?
Yeah, they break it again. So I counted that in the 8, but I didn't go back and have them reset it ever again. And no, because it just
It happened to a
pain.
young friend of mine. He was like the junior high.
There, bro.
Took a ground ball, hits a pebble, and he had to get it broken 3 more times to get it set, like in one sitting. Can you imagine that as a 12-year-old?
Dude, trust me, you don't want that to happen. Again, we appreciate everyone tuning in. Thank you so much. Fridays are reserved for WTF Day. I'm sure broken noses will be among the topics then. Saturdays, sometimes the Chris times Chris.
Hope no one breaks a nose in the hockey game tomorrow. That'd be bad.
Show.
Don't blame us.
Okay, so all right, bingo card. If one player is missing, who might that be? Do you say Stone?
Stone.
I say Pietrangelo. I say Petro. Because again, he's got that ailment.
I think Petro's chalky, but I mean, I'm curious to look at the shift.
Long
report.
shot. I'll go with
how many
Kolasar.
minutes Stone got in the third. When did that change in the game?
Was second period, I think. Was it second or early third?
I'm going to look at the shift chart after this, and I'm curious how many minutes
tweet it out.
Played in that. I'm really curious.
All right. Hopefully, I'm right about something here this year.
I kind of hope you're wrong, but in the same breath, like I kind of hope you're right.
Okay. Thank you so much, especially our everydayers. We appreciate you tuning in. From a man, Chris Goalie, I'm Tony Cardasco. We'll be back again on Wednesday. On Wednesday, have a great day. Of course, enjoy the game, and we'll see you back here on Wednesday on Locked On Golden Knights. And please take care.